Alrighty, and we are officially live, I think. Let me make sure everything is running smoothly. Um, this is going to be a very exciting stream. Today we are playing in the MTG Arena Aetherdrift Early Access Streamer event, whatever you want to call it. There's some new stuff going on where we are live twice on YouTube. So we should be live in a horizontal view, which I'm assuming most of you will be seeing. But we are also going to be live in a vertical view, which should be interesting because I know a lot of my content is vertical, so that's how a lot of people find me. So we're trying this out here today. Hello, Chonk Eat Pie. How's it going? I'm gonna wait a second here, make sure everything looks good. But yeah, we should be good to jump into this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm constantly trying new things, trying stay up to date with everything Magic. I know sometimes it can be a little crazy with the amount of stuff that comes out. So yeah, welcome in, Josh. Achievements. I think it's really good. I think one of my biggest problems with Arena is it was designed right for a time where they were trying to push Magic into esports, and so everything about it is about winning. And so I think that leads to this environment where it's like, unless you're staying up to date on the most meta decks, cards that aren't part of meta decks just aren't needed on Arena outside of something like Brawl. And that's why I think Brawl is probably one of the better parts of Arena. But with achievements, it finally gives you something like to strive for that isn't just, you know, winning. So I really like it. We'll have to see what the achievements actually look like. You'll see they are locked out in the client here. But yeah, hello, Owen. Hello, everyone coming on in. Also, I forgot, let me post. I have my stories ready, or posts and stories just saying that I'm live. And yeah, we're gonna get into this. Plan for the day, we are going to play some limited to start. I think we're probably just going to do some sealed, get a good feel for the set. I have a couple decks on Mox Field that I am looking at. I wanted to see what a speed deck would maybe look like. I'm in no way an expert on standard right now. I've been playing a lot of Timeless on Arena when I've been doing competitive stuff, but I put together some decks that we can also try later. But I think we are going to start today with some sealed. Yeah. And let me see if let me make sure this horizontal and vertical lives are both working on my phone and that there's no problems. Okay. Let's see. Oh, my phone is just not working at all. That's lovely. Okay. But yeah, also some other fun stuff. Got this new, so right now have a new thing. I'm doing a green screen, trying out some new stuff with it. You'll see it's not perfect right now. I still have to dial some stuff in. I've ordered some lights to help improve it. But for now, this is what it's gonna look like. I have this digital background, which is a lot easier for me. So you'll notice as sets come and go, my plan is to like adjust what's on the shelf behind me. I thought that'd be a fun little way to do it. If you're watching the vertical, you can't see what I'm talking about. I just realized, so let me hide Arena. I mean, you can see that I'm in front of Arena, but we can do that. So I have this virtual set that we will kind of explore and change around, which is kind of fun. So yeah, let's jump into this. Looking at what we got, I think we might be in green. We got a couple Web Strike elites. Hazoret seems like it could be really good in limited. I mean, we'll see how it is in constructed too. I have that in the speed deck I was looking at, and then Cavalier of Dawn. Honestly, this Samut is really making me want to go green, white, red. I can run, you know, kind of all of these cards, just not the blue ones. But let's look at what the rest of our pool is looking like. See if we have the support. This is my first time doing Aetherdrift Limited, Aetherdrift, however, whatever you want to call it. But let's go over like this. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So, I think green, let's take a look at the green, because I think that's probably what I'm most confidently wanting. So we got that, which is going to be pretty good. Defend the Rider doesn't seem bad. Yeah, we'll do, I think green, just because of the Web Strike Elites, like, it's a very solid card. It can be removal for us if we need it, but it's also just a 3/3 for 2 with reach, and we can cycle it away if we don't need it for just 2 mana. I'm a big fan of that card. Um, so that's pretty solid. I'm also a big fan of Death Touchers. Um, so that's going to be nice. This Beast Rider Vanguard is also pretty appealing to me, just as, you know, if we get into the late game, I don't know how fast this format's going to be, but if we end up in the late game, we can use this to kind of use our mana and keep our hand a little bit full. So that's good. We could do Tarion. It's a 9/7. I think a 9/7 for 5, like I think that's definitely worth running. Part of me really wants to put Bestow Greatness in the deck just so that we can give it trample. I think that would be fun. But I will hold off for now just kind of because I want to look at everything else we have access to. I also think we have Thornwood Falls. We have Jungle Hollow if we wanted to go into black, but I don't necessarily think we want to do that. I do think it would be fun to do Samut. You know, this is a pretty solid card. This will often just give all your creatures +4/+4 if we run enough like speed payoffs. Destroy target online permanent. When it dies, return an artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Don't know if we necessarily like need to run that. Green, white. At the beginning, untap all your creatures. Creatures get +1/+1. That seems solid. I do think Ether Jacket. That seems, again, kind of flexible removal here, especially in the set. We're going to have a lot of artifacts that we may want to destroy. And these are flying vigilant creatures. I think that's probably a no-brainer. And I do really like this Veteran Beast Rider. 2 cost, 2/3. Whenever it attacks while saddled, search for a basic plains, put it in your hand, saddle 2. I'm thinking white-green. I'm getting good vibes from it. Although we are a little lacking on removal. I mean, we can do, where was it? This. I mean, I just said we're lacking in creature removal, I should say. I've been cooking with 2 of the commanders from the precon and also working on a Samut Brawl deck. The other is Sahili and the other commander from the zombie deck. Yeah, there's been, I found Aetherdrift, it's very interesting. I find a lot of sets either have a lot of really cool commanders or a lot of really cool cards for commander decks. And I found that Aetherdrift is a set that has a lot of very cool cards as commanders. Part of that is just I don't have a ton of artifact decks, so like all the artifact cards, like I can see why they're good, I can see they're powerful. They're just not something that necessarily appeals that much to me. Brightfield Glider seems kind of solid. During your turn, this creature has first strike. We need like 7 more cards. I mean, if we're running white, we should run Cavalier. That's just that. Let's look at colorless. Sack artifact to deal 3 damage or destroy target creature or vehicle. We could maybe run that. What is your favorite commander in the game? My favorite commander in the game is Joda, Archmage Eternal. He lets you pay Wooburg for things rather than pay their cost. For reference, some of my favorite commanders are things that just like cheat things out way too easily. So like I really like the 10th Doctor as a deck. I also really like Cascade commanders, I've learned. So I have like Pantlaza and Zuladoc and like Wooburg Joda. So if it's cascading and it's cheating mana cost, I probably like it. Equip creature 2/2 equip our vehicle with double strike that can give something double strike. How do I feel about that? Whenever this artifact enters, draw a card. Okay, I like that. Target mount you control becomes saddled until end of turn. Target vehicle you control becomes a vehicle until end of or a creature until end of turn. Don't hate it. Okay, how are we planning on winning this? Is it Tarion, the world, whatever? I honestly really want to bestow greatness onto Tarion and give it trample. I think that's what I want to do, and I also want to give it double strike. Atla or Captain Nagathron. I've looked at an Atla deck. Very, very much what I'm into. And then Captain Nagathron, I bought that precon. I had it for a while, and I just got tired of taking opponent's stuff. It ended up like, if I ever went to a local game store, it was like very, I don't like when people just like take my cards either, so I definitely understand. But like, it just got inconvenient. So I've been avoiding cards that generally like steal cards. Although one of my newer decks is Nashi, and it does take cards. But I kind of get a little more agency there. I do want to put Avishkar Raceway. I want to play with the speed mechanic a little bit. And then we have one more card we can throw in. We could do Defend the Rider. I don't hate it. Let's see. +2/+2, and it has cycling. Don't hate that either. Combat Tricks Unlimited. Pretty decent. This is also just a flyer. Flyers win games. So yeah. +1/+1 in Vigilance. You can cast it from your graveyard if you have max speed. Nashi. Oh my god, what is his full name? Nashi, yeah, Moon Sage's Scion. Yeah, that's my goal has been to make a monocolor deck of each color where the commander doesn't super matter. Like, I can cast the commander and it's good in the deck, but if my commander keeps getting removed or I just decide not to cast it, it's still very good. Portrait. Okay, for Cheesy Films, there are 2 streams right now. I think, well, I mean, I know, but I believe the vertical one should go into the shorts feed. If you want to come over, I'm also streaming horizontal if you head over to my channel. This is something YouTube keeps being like, hey, you can do vertical live streams, and I'm like, okay, let's try it. So yeah, if you are currently on the vertical stream, I'm also streaming horizontally as well. So because yes, this game is very clearly designed for a horizontal one, but YouTube is like, try this. I'm like, sure, we'll see how it goes. Feedback's always appreciated. Okay, let me pick this last card so we can actually start playing. Let's do this. It has cycling. We can get rid of it if we don't need. We'll put our otter friend on the deck, and yeah, we can jump into this. Do we have any lands that we would want to run here? No. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So let me get my coffee. Today has already been a long day. We need to keep the energy up. PC crashed. Uh-oh. All right. Let me make sure everything is good over here. Yeah, I'd love to get back into doing lives more. I really enjoy doing it. It's such an interesting field because you'd think like, oh, I do, video already. Like it's such a different set of skills, and it's so interesting because like channel members get videos like first, like whenever I upload them, which is often only like 12 hours before they go live. But that often means I'm working at like 1 in the morning. Like a lot of videos are made at 1 in the morning, and so it's very different having to be like somewhere at a given time when people are going to be watching it. Like, mad respect to all the streamers out there. It is so different from video production. It is kind of crazy. Yeah. All right. I don't hate this. We can play the Glory Heath. Turn 2, turn 3, play the Ether Jacket, saddle the Glory Heath with it. Not bad. Ooh. Okay. New pet. Very cool, or companion, whatever they call it. Blue. Ah, okay. Let's Glory Heath. Next turn we'll Avishkar Raceway, get our speed up to 1, swing in with a saddled Glory Heath, if it is still around. What is this? 1/1, put a counter on it. When this dies, draw a card for each counter. Seems solid. Let's start our engines. Okay. fancy animations. And then let's play the Aether Jacket, and then let's saddle with the Aether Jacket, and then we can go get ourselves a basic Plains. Okay. Let's see. Tap, enchanted permanent, lose all abilities and doesn't untap. Okay. Destroy another target artifact. That's an aura. That's very rude. Let's up our speed. So we're already on 3 speed. We're gonna have another Aether Jacket. I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. Okay, I'll take 1. I'm liking this 4 damage per turn that I'm threatening. With the potential for this +4/+4 ambush as well. Yeah, let's end the turn. We have the option to... Let's, this has mana value 0, right? So we can pay green, green, and 0. And destroy this in response. And then we also get to redraw a card. They'll draw 1 card. Yep, and then... Okay, happy with that. And then... Yeah. Oh, I need to not hold full control mode anymore. Again, I'll say it, I might just actually put this on the stream, but if you are watching on the horizontal or the vertical stream, I'm also streaming horizontally if you prefer. So, oh, I am apparently roping. I did not mean to do that. All right, loot the Pathfinder. This thing is a little crazy. Yeah, I guess we'll just take 4. We can... I mean, I guess we can just blow that up, right? And just keep swinging for 4. Next turn, we have lethal in air, assuming no interaction. What's your opinion about Thalia and Gitrog? Lands matter med power? Med power. I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. Unless I might be being dumb right now. Oh, like building it medium power? Like not as like a high tier or low tier? Oh my gosh. I think it's interesting. I think anytime you have a commander that's gonna like affect your opponent's plays, it's often going to be considered, you know, very negatively. You know, you have something that is going to make your opponent's stuff enter tapped, and I think even if you build the deck in a medium way, that it'll often just be received negatively. And so I do think that's something I tend to... I've thought about it more and more because I've started playing Commander more and more for a, like, the enjoyment of it. Not to say I wasn't enjoying Commander before, but I used to build a lot more, like, competitively. And recently I've had a lot more fun building less competitively. It's easier... sometimes it's easier and harder. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm purposely not including this card because I don't like the play patterns. And I did a short about that. It was like 3 cards I don't run. And it was very interesting to get people's like takes on cards. Like I don't like Farewell. yeah, he ate Thalia. Yeah, who knows? I don't know when the next time we're gonna go back to Innistrad to see Thalia again. But I mean, I guess Thalia could show up on another plane too. Oh, this would be so good if I had another green. Ah, whatever. We're gonna hope. Stampeding Scurryfoot. Put a +1/+1 counter, create a 3/3 green elephant. Oh, that's a cool card. Okay, we didn't draw the green land, but we did draw a play at least. Me and my family call him Thick Frog. Yep. Gitrog is a very popular character. I remember when I was first being introduced to Commander, it's one of the first Commander decks I saw, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. It's like, I think it kind of, original Gitrog, the one that like draws you cards whenever lands go to the graveyard, that one, it kind of embodies how Commander's like building around a specific like ability. Let's swing with the 2/2. You're right, I could exile my own creature game. I don't think I will. So, let's see. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on Aetherdrift? I know it's been a little more of a contentious set. It kind of feels the same from at least my perspective as Karlov Manor did last year, where there's a lot, maybe less interest in it. But I think I felt the same way around Thunder Junction. But Thunder Junction, I think, had enough powerful cards and enough intrigue in the mechanics, if you took away the flavor, that it ended up being a very like popular set, which I think is really interesting. Okay. Let's swing. Let's be more aggressive with this, actually. Wait. Target creature you control deals damage to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Okay. Let's not even give them the option. And then, yeah. Pretty cool. I mostly want to upgrade my Shorkai deck. Yep. It feels like a set that... I don't know how many, like, universally good cards there are in it. But there are a lot of really good cards for some very specific strategies. Like artifact decks, vehicle decks, energy decks with the precons. Let's see. Very interesting looking. Radiant Lotus, so when I first saw the card, I was like, is this good? And at first my brain was like, no, I don't think this is good. Like, it's 6 mana. And then I was like, wait a second, it can activate the turn it comes down, which means that if you have just 2 artifacts you don't need, like 2 clues, 2 foods, 2 anything, that immediately pays for its own cost, and then anything beyond that becomes just like profit. And so, yeah, I really like it. Yeah. While we're waiting here, I'll remind everyone, if you're watching the vertical stream and you want a little closer view, I am also streaming horizontally. If you go to my channel, you should see both. The vertical one says vertical live, or like Aetherdrift early access vertical live, and the other one just says Aetherdrift early access live. If you want to watch it not vertically, I know it's kind of hard to see exactly what's happening. So, let's see. No attacks. What is this? So it's a 4/4 trample reach that can put 3 counters. I think what we are going to do... I think we're just going to keep being aggressive here. I think being aggressive is going to be the best option for us, so we're going to swing for 5. But yeah. If there is anyone in the vertical live, if you could confirm that this is showing up in short speeds, that would be great. This is my first time trying a vertical live. It seems like horizontal live's going well. I have both open. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. I guess we just swing for 5. Keep the pressure going. So, I assume at some point they're going to have to block with the 1/1. Do I like Crash? Is that the one that puts, or that becomes like a copy of a creature with a counter on it? Let me see. Yeah, do you like Crash as a Simic commander? Yeah, actually, so one of the first like pre-cons I ever bought, because I used to just buy, you know, like packs and deck builders toolkits and all that when I first started. And one of the first pre-cons I bought was not a commander pre-con, it was what were called guild kits, and they were 60 card like casual format cards. Ooh. I don't know why I didn't exile that before. Actually, I can just replace this. This is fine. Yeah, so they were 60 card casual format, like they weren't like standard or anything. And Experimental Crash was in there. And when I first started playing Commander with my friend group, we didn't actually build Commander decks. We just took our existing decks and yeah, we took our existing decks and we just picked our legendary creature and said that's our commander. And Crash was the one I took from the Simic Guild kit, and I really loved it. The other one I would occasionally do was Momir Vig, because that would let me like go get whatever I wanted, and it was basically like having Crash as my commander in addition. I'm so sorry, I keep hitting the mic. So yeah, I really like Crash. I think which version of Zamone were you looking at? Because I know at this point we have like 5 of them, according to my quick Scryfall search. So, the Dustmourn one. The Dustmourn one from the Commander deck or from the main set? I mean, in reality, I think the one from the Commander deck is better than Crash, but I think the one from the main set is probably, it's just different. Like, I don't know. They'd be very kind of different decks, most likely. 2/2, 2/2. Yeah, let's play Glory Heath Lynx. The one that doubles counters and puts them at combat phase. Oh, okay. I think as a commander, though, that one is probably better. Crash is good, but the issue is it's expensive. Like 6 mana for a commander nowadays is kind of a lot. Like, you know, if it gets removed once, then it's 8 mana, and it's like, are you getting to cast 8 mana spells that often? Lucas, speed should have, or could have been a better mechanic. Why does speed only go up? I mean, it's the same reason I think they did energy. When they first did energy, it could not be interacted with. Now there's a couple cards that interact with it a little bit more. Not a ton, but still a little bit. Speed, there's one card in the set that's like the blue Koopa shell from Mario Kart that can reduce speed, but I think it's just, I think the mechanic is already, like, not amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep that. Energy is still my least favorite mechanic. Yeah, I mean, they feel very much in the same vein where you're worried about some other resource. One, you're worried about speed, one you're worried about energy, and they're a little bit trickier to interact with. So they give similar vibes to me. We could... Let's do this. This could be a mistake, but let's swing. Let's get a plains. Let's thin out our deck a little bit. I'm a little tired of drawing nothing. Yeah, yeah, green does make it easier to cast a 6-drop. I still, you know, 5-drops are kind of the most expensive, the most expensive commanders I look at. Nameless, Faceless, speed feels more like City's Blessing to me. Yeah, it is kind of just like an unlocker. Like, a lot of the cards that cared about completing one dungeon, for example. And then, what else are you streaming on? I'll give you a follow there. I used to stream on TikTok and YouTube, but with all the uncertainty of TikTok, I just... their live streaming stuff was always a headache to do. So right now I'm just streaming on YouTube twice. So there's this, there's the vertical stream, and then there is the horizontal stream that you can also tune into if you want a better view of the game. which I don't think they give me an easy way to link over. I don't know if actually this will work. If anyone would like to go to the long, or not the long, the horizontal stream, that is the link for that. Would I rather have 6 1/1s with vigilance or a 6/6 with trample? I mean, 6 1/1s is better. Most of the time, but it depends. It won't let you comment. Yeah, I know in the short speed they've been reducing the amount of links because there's been people who will like live stream crypto scams. But if you go to my like profile and go to live, I think it's the first one that shows up. Here, let me see. Next time I might make 2 different thumbnails to make it a little more obvious. Because, yeah, for some reason the one that's big on my homepage is the vertical one. The one that doesn't say vertical live and just says live is the one that is horizontal. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I keep roping people. I'm so sorry. At max speed at the beginning of your end step, create a 2/2. We really don't want them to get to max speed, but alas, what can we do? All right, let's swing with the 2/3 double striker. Yeah, I think getting that off the board, I'm very happy to do. Yeah, especially when we're just losing. Like, I mean, it had lifelink, that was useful, but like, meh. Let's. Let's plan on using the Beast Strider Vanguard's ability. I think we need cards right now. My cat just screamed at the top of his lungs. What the heck? Yeah, cats are a little crazy. I'm a dog person myself. I am I'm not deathly allergic, but very allergic to cats. But when I can see them without it, you know, swelling up my entire face, they're always cute. Alright. Oh my god, this is a lot of words. When it enters, create a 1/1 insect for each artifact and or creature in your graveyard. Whenever another insect you control dies, put a plus. Okay, yeah. That's fun. Create 4 1/1s. I could use a flyer right about now. Is there a sack engine? Okay. Let's pay 5 mana and reveal. Okay, so I could go 2 routes. I could go the Ether Jacket route and just hit them for 2 every turn, or 4 every turn. Yeah, we'll do that actually. Yeah. Let's play the Ether Jacket. And then let's equip. If we play this, we can just activate that ability again. So we'll do that. This is our plan. What happens if you play a card with Start Your Engine, then make damage in your turn? In your second main play, another card with Start Your Engine, your speed 2 or 3. So, okay, so Start Your Engine, the way it works is it can, you know, let's say this card, right? Starts Your Engine. If you have no speed, it will set your speed to 1. And then if you dealt damage to an opponent on that turn after your speed was set to 1, it would go to 2. If you play any Start Your Engines cards while you already have a speed, then nothing happens. So Start Your Engine can only increase your speed for the very first speed. So, I hope that made sense. It reminds me a lot of Ascend from Ixalan that like gave you the city's blessing. Let's put this. If they have a combat trick, they have a combat trick. It's not, yeah, no, it's not like Venture into the Dungeon where, like, the thing that initiates it is the same thing that progresses it. Correct. Ah, okay, yeah, I see. There was no way to avoid this speed. So next turn, they will be at max speed pretty much no matter what we do, unless we can find a way to not take damage and not kill one of their creatures. So, for example, the fastest that I know you can get to max speed is you play one of the color, and I have this set up in a standard deck, and I might see if I can show that off after this game, is you can play one of the colorless lands that starts your engine, and then play Ginger Brute with haste. That gets you to 2 speed on turn 1, then turn 2 you can swing and get up to 3 speed, and then turn 3 you can get up to 4 speed. So that's the fastest you can get to max speed. I was gonna say in standard, but like at all, unless you like, I guess, take extra turns, but then you're still, you know, yeah. Add 1 mana of any color, enters, you gain 2 life, crew 2, okay. Let's see, let's activate this ability. We are gonna get a Death Toucher. That is gonna be actually pretty huge. That is also going to be pretty huge. Let's get this on the Ether Jacket. That's going to start the clock. And then let's throw down a Venom Sac Legak. I think that's Legak. And then... oh, yeah, that's 3 mana, so we won't be able to do that, which is fine. This is going to hopefully keep this guy at bay. We will be able to do that, and then yeah, let's end. What format are you playing right now in Arena? Is it Alchemy? Right now this is limited, so, or sealed specifically, so I yeah, opened 6 packs and then built a deck using those cards. We're playing a white green kind of good stuff deck. I mean, it has some vehicles, it has some crew, but yeah, I have 2 standard decks that obviously are not tested. I literally got on when I started the stream, and I was kind of just throwing together some speed cards to see how they feel to play. So I do want to try that out at some point. I also built one with vehicles that I don't think is very good, but again, I kind of want to just like play with a card, because sometimes you don't realize the power of a card until you actually like play it and get to kind of experience it. So how is this, by the way, the audio quality? Is everything good? Not an annoying background noise, or is game too loud, too quiet? Good evening. Good evening in the vertical chat. Hope everyone's having a great day. I definitely am. This has been so far very fun. Yeah, a lot of new stuff since the last stream. I think the last stream I did was for Dustmore in early access, because a little while ago I was doing a stream every week, and that just, you know, I have some very exciting things I'm working on in the background, and I just decided to reprioritize those rather than streaming. I'd love to stream more, and you could probably expect some more streams now that I have this whole setup. This makes it a lot easier that I don't need it to be good lighting. Like, I'm going to have like set lighting, and I'm going to have a very quick way to just get into stream mode. So I expect more streams. But yeah, I've been working on, you know, long form videos have been back on the channel, which has been exciting. If you didn't see, I posted one yesterday, the day before, something like that. Where I talked about, my brain is blanking, the 10 most expensive like pre-orders from Aetherdrift, just to kind of see what people were excited about. So that came out yesterday. In January we got a video about 5 awesome pre-cons. So I'm excited to be bringing back long form. I'm aiming for more than 1 a month, but right now we're on a 1 a month cadence. There is this live stream, and again, we should be live streaming more. It's very interesting where this in this channel, I do something to make videos better. And then I spend some time finding a way to do that better thing faster so that I have more time to work on making things better or working on something else. So like I finally gotten to the point where I can kind of comfortably start doing long forms again and hopefully stream more. But I'm also launching something this year that'll be like super exciting. Like I am biggest announcement that I will have ever made, and it'll be really, really cool and pretty unique. So that'll be fun. Oh, that's so rude. Okay. That's really very, very exciting. What do you think is the strongest archetype in Aetherdrift or in like general? Because in general, it's probably just like combo or aggro, depending on the format you're looking at. If you're in Aetherdrift, I haven't played enough to give that judgment yet. Most of the exciting cards are like artifact based, obviously, but I actually have no idea for Aetherdrift yet. Again, a lot of it comes down to how it actually plays and like what other people are playing, what ends up being good. So, exile from your graveyard to draw a card. It's been a long game. I know I've probably not made it better by, being slow to go through things. Aetherdrift, yeah, I am not sure yet, because a lot of that comes down to, like, the mix of commons and uncommons, and a lot of what I do for set releases is very, like, card by card looking at it, and not necessarily looking at it from a, not necessarily looking at it from, like, such a big perspective. Yeah, let's do this. So they are going to have to swing, right? Because, so we have to calculate this. So this is what, 2, 7, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I can block. This is going to be coming at me, which I'm planning on just killing with Web Strike. Yeah, I think my best bet here is to just pass. Yeah. Oh my gosh, wait. I am off-centered. Let me fix that. But yeah. But yeah, so far I've been really, really having fun with Aetherdrift. I haven't seen the same amount of hype that like Duskmourn had or Bloomburrow had, and I don't think it was ever going to get that much hype. I'll be very curious to see how Tarkir does, because that's such classic Magic, and that's our next set coming up. Yeah, I'm actually very curious with all of you, like what set like this year are you most looking forward to? Is it Tarkir? Is it Aetherdrift? Is it Edge of Eternities or Final Fantasy or Spider-Man? Or do you not like any of those and are hoping the final Universes Beyond set is something that you're excited for? I am very excited for this year for two main things, the space set and the Spider-Man set. I am a big Marvel fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big sci-fi fan, kind of in general. So I'm looking forward to seeing Edge of Eternities and Spider-Man. I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. I found most of the Universes Beyond stuff that they have done has been very like uninteresting to me. I have found that it is like not like I've enjoyed the cards, I've enjoyed like the gameplay of it, but the actual properties themselves, I didn't watch Doctor Who, I didn't play Fallout necessarily before. So that's been, it's one of the first major properties that I am very excited for. Okay. Let's start this off by 3 mana to blow up this. So that will do that. And then we can block this here. We can block that there. We can block that there. And that there. And then we do not die. And we leave up lethal. So. Good stuff, good stuff. There we go. All right. So we are now 2 for 2. We are doing pretty solid. Let's keep it rolling. Okay. The urge to put the double strike on Tarion is so high. Sure. This might be a mistake, but I'd rather not go down a card. I've been trying to be a little less aggressive, I guess, at mulliganing. Also, this makes this hand so much better. I'm not going to get used to that sound. That sound is very in your face. All right. And to everyone joining in through the vertical live stream, through the shorts feed, I'm also live horizontally. If you go through my profile, if you want to get a closer look at the game and see what all the cards are doing. Would also, from everyone, would love feedback on the stream. Again, always trying to improve, always looking for feedback. Thoughts on the background here for the vertical live. Oh, I'm hitting the edge of apparently my green screen there. Let's see. When this creature attacks while saddled, create a treasure. Sure. If you could double block, but won't. Okay. Alrighty. Let me see something. Alright, perfect. That's a lot of damage. We'll just take that. You know what? Let's do that, and then let's throw out the rover blades. We can crew them, and then block pretty comfortably. Okay. What is my all-time favorite card? Oh, I think it depends on when you ask me, but my go-to answer is normally Bolt Bend. I love redirects. I love not just stopping someone's plan, but completely like making it backfire in their face. So, and I've done some very funny things with it, and so I guess by extension, deflecting swap, but I like the budgetness of, okay, wait, haste, exhaust, put 2+1/+1 counters, so we're not going to do that, we are going to just block there. You know, deflecting swap, but I liked how Bolt Bend's kind of budget, and a card that not everyone has necessarily seen. I enjoy that a lot, so. Yeah. But again, it kind of depends on when you ask me. There are going to be times where I'm going to say something else, probably. Also, we get the 9/7. Tight. Also, did I just not block? Did I swing with my 3/3? I did swing with my 3/3. I was like, did I just not block? Alright. It's actually very interesting to see the stats of the short speed live and the non-short speed live. Thoughts on Spider-Man coming to MTG? Okay. I think it'll depend. Generally, I'm positive about it, because for me, Magic has always been about the gameplay and the mechanics and the rules, and less about the world. Like, I enjoy the world of Magic. I've appreciated it more and more the more I've played, but like when I started playing the game, it was for the gameplay. And so if they can deliver good gameplay, then I'm going to be happy. If it's not good gameplay, I'm not gonna like it. So I just, to me, it's more about gameplay. I'm not the biggest fan of Aetherdrift. A big part of that is that I find vehicles to read like a downside mechanic. And by that, I mean, there are some mechanics that are like, you know, Ether Jacket. It's a 2/1, and it also has flying and vigilance. Which reads a lot better than if all creatures didn't tap, and then you had creatures that said, this taps when it attacks. Like, that's a downside mechanic. And I just, vehicles, I find them super hard to evaluate, so it's hard to get excited about them. And I just, it's so much work. Like, I need a vehicle, but then I also need a creature to crew it, and then if that happens, I have to hope they don't have removal. Otherwise, I now just spent like 2 of my cards to do nothing. Like, I don't know. I'm not that, you know, I'm not into, like, as much as I don't really like the theme of Aetherdrift, and I really don't like the gameplay of Aetherdrift. So to me, it is fine. I avoid the, if I avoid the vehicles, everything else about the set's really cool. I like the design of the robot guys. I like the Gear Hulks. I started playing around Aether Revolt and Amonkhet, so the worlds that we're visiting are very interesting to me. So those are the redeeming qualities for me personally. And so far, the Limited has been pretty fun. I mean, this is my 3rd game, so make of that what you will. But Aetherdrift, I've enjoyed it. If Spider-Man has good gameplay, honestly, this is the weird thing. I also, like, I've never played a Final Fantasy game, right? And that's coming up. But I main Cloud in Smash Bros. So I've already dedicated myself to building a Cloud deck. And I know that I'm going to build a Spider-Man deck. And if there is a Venom card, which there probably will be, I will probably build Venom, you know. Is this worth the treasure? What is happening? Sacrifice this. Sacrifice your strawberry for X is your speed. Oh, that's interesting. Whenever it attacks, create a vehicle. Okay, or create a vehicle, create a treasure. But yeah. But generally, also, sorry, don't mean to hammer on this point too much. I think Universes Beyond is very good for the game. Like, I understand not liking it. I understand that viewpoint 100%. But I also, it is like, there are so many people in my comment sections, so many people that I've met in person that are like, oh, I got into this game because of Fallout. Do I prefer making short-term or long-term videos? I assume you mean like short or long-form. I prefer to make, it kind of depends. I like making both. I enjoy the, like, oh, I'm sitting down to make a video, and then when I get up, the video is done. I enjoy kind of that satisfaction. But, and with long forms, generally the editing process and the filming process just kind of takes too long for me to actually do that. But I do, like, depending on the long form video, I do really enjoy the creativity. Well, it's kind of, again, I'm going to kind of go on a ramble here. It's interesting because the short form content, like the fact that it's short form, breeds some amount of creativity because I have to be able to do something in 60 seconds or less. And with YouTube increasing it to 3 minutes, that's kind of diminished, but they still, like, algorithmically really punish anything over a minute, it seems like. So that breeds some amount of creativity on its own. But then there's also, after I'd made shorts for so long, I kind of took a break from longs. Getting back to longs, there's a lot of creativity in having more than a minute. And so it's this very interesting thing where both are unique and require some creative thinking in one way or the other. But yeah, mount would make sense if the mount cost had to be exact. I just think Colossal Dreadmaw being able to ride a corgi is ridiculous. Yeah, I think mount is vehicles done right. It kind of has the same flavor, and it has the kind of the same mechanics, but it's a lot easier to evaluate the baseline. I also have enjoyed, there's been a lot more vehicles in Aetherdrift that are just, like, good permanents. Like, there's that one, like, chariot that, like, gives you zombies when you discard cards. That's what I think vehicles should do. It should be a card that it feels like an enchantment or an artifact that's just going to sit there and do an effect, and it has an upside of being able to become a creature. Where a lot of the time, because you see that power toughness in the bottom right, the fact that it isn't a creature feels like a downside. And I know feel, yada yada, doesn't super matter, but like, just a lot of my excitement from a set comes from how I'm going to feel about it. And about the cards. And I think mount, it's a lot easier to be like, oh, this is an upside mechanic, not a downside mechanic, kind of like what I was saying. Also, good night, Debbie Rocket. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for everyone for being here. This has been an awesome stream so far. Been having good games, good conversations. If you have any other questions, love to answer it. Cool to see you stream, dude. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Today's been a good day. I've been enjoying. Again, games are good. I would love to stream more. It's such a big like time commitment a lot of the time. And my schedule personally is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna keep holding up removal for when I need to do something. What does this do? But yeah. Let me fix this over here. Yeah. But it's been a kind of crazy year already. I don't know if you guys saw, I actually got to do an ad for MTG Arena. So every time I open Instagram, I end up seeing my face, which is a weird feeling. But that was really cool. And I've been working a lot on a behind the scenes thing. I have launched some new projects for short form and long form videos. Been a cool year so far from a channel perspective. We got this whole new setup, which if you weren't here when I kind of talked about it, this is a digital set. It makes it easy for me. It's a green screen. I can put it up, put it down. Really works well. For me, it should make it a lot easier for me to stream. If I want to stream, I just lift up the green screen and go. I don't have to like prep my background and like put props and things, so it's cool. But it also means that like for sets, different sets can have different things hiding in the background. So like I probably won't do this for every background, but just to kind of show some stuff off. This is one of the cards from, oh, this is really hard to point to. This is one of the cards from Aetherdrift. And then it has like the little beacon that goes up. We got a finish line bundle. We have a serialized Ether Spark that I definitely don't own. Like legitimately do not have one of those, but cool to have one in the background. We have a Radiant Lotus in the Japanese style. We have Johto's Codex. We have Unstoppable Plan. We have an one of the precons. We have loot sitting on the precon. Like, I'm excited to kind of dress up the background. What is happening? I would really like to here we go. You know what? Slow and steady wins the race. 2 attacking creatures. So yeah, I can play this Beast Rider and still hold up 2 mana to exile 2 attacking creatures. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying not to I normally don't this much. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, we can. It's been kind of a long game again, which is good. It's weird. I really enjoyed Modern Horizons 3. Modern Horizons 3's limited environment. I know it wasn't like the most popular thing in the world, and Red Green was a little more powerful than it probably should have been. But I really enjoyed the quickness of it and like how powerful it did feel. And now I've kind of gone back and now I'm like, oh, I kind of like these slower formats sometimes. Okay. Is this a draft? This is sealed. So yeah, I like to do some sealeds first before I do a draft to get, you know, accustomed to the cards. Sure, create a treasure. Put a +1/+1 counter, death touch haste. Whenever it attacks, do a thing. Haste. Okay, so we are going to get rid of this. And then we are also going to get rid of, I guess, this guy. Nah, we'll get rid of the Death Toucher. MH3. Oh, actually, let me finish this block and then I will read that. MH3 felt like it didn't really have a theme that tied the set together, but that was to be expected from modern set. Even Foundations did that better, in my opinion. That's fair. I've always just kind of enjoyed the wacky designs that come with Modern Horizons sets. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the kind of wacky designs. Same. What's your opinion of the set? I think the set is kind of average. Like, I'm not calling it a bad set. There are some very interesting cards. There are some cool, you know, stuff in limited. I'm just not a big vehicle fan. I'm not a huge fan of like the art aesthetic and all of that. You know, so I'm kind of just like in the middle on it. It's not the worst set. What is happening? Oh, full throttle. Okay, sure. But yeah, I'm kind of in the middle on it. I honestly, it's kind of hard, in my opinion, for them to make... It's gonna sound so shilly. I just love Magic. So, if there's new cards that are powerful enough to see a little bit of play, a new limited environment, I'm probably gonna enjoy it to some extent. Some exceptions. Aftermath, Assassin's Creed, kind of bad Magic sets. But generally, with these full-size sets, they give me another thing to draft. They give me... you know, they are generally pretty fun. And I can't really ask, like, I can ask for more, but, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I enjoy new Magic sets, so it's okay. It's not the best. Ixalan was, you know, one of my favorites recently. I really liked Duskmourn. This is nowhere near those. This is very close to Karlov Manor, in my opinion. Why am I like drifting around so much in my frame? Okay, now I want to try something. So on Moxfield, I threw together a really quick speed deck, and I just want to play like a game or two and see how it does, because I am so curious. Import. Gotta go fast. Standard. Yo. Let's craft that. Alright, so yeah, basically this deck just wants a lot of cheap stuff to start speed, and then we have some speed payoffs in the form of Hazaret and Gastral Thrillseeker and Burnout Bastronaut. I want to see how this does. I'm just very curious. I'm not expecting this to be meta in any way, but if there is a meta deck, I expect it'll use some amount of these cards. So, I just really quickly want to try this out. And then we will go back to sealed. If you're currently watching in the vertical live stream... Oh my gosh, I need to stop hitting this. I'm so sorry. It's in a different spot than it normally is, so my mic is out of frame. If you are watching on the vertical live stream, I am also live horizontally if you want a better view of the game. If you click on my... Oh my gosh. If you click on my profile picture and go there, there should be one that says vertical live and one that just says live, and the live one is horizontal. So, yeah. Guess we are gonna start this off with a Burnout Bastronaut. Start our speed. Hopefully they either don't kill it and don't play two creatures. Llanowar Elves seems solid. Let's hit them. Do that. We can... Let's play Gas Guzzler. Gastral Thrillseeker is really interesting because it can up your speed the turn, like, in your pre-combat main phase, which is especially good for the turn that you want. Like, it basically lets you take advantage of double strike before combat, which is nice. Yeah. So, I think if there's a speed deck, a part of it is going to be getting that speed up at least once before combat, or there's a lizard in here, the one that does 1 damage, Hired Claw. that does 1 damage with an attack, so that it can get your speed up to max speed, and then activate things like double strike. Not as good because it doesn't let Hazoret attack, because you have to have declared attackers at that point. Gastral Thrill Seeker is really great, because if it gets you to max speed, you unlock it gaining haste and death touch at the same time, so then it can attack that turn. Like, this is going to be like the best card for getting you to that, you know, speed, or getting you to max speed. So yeah, we are probably just gonna... Oh, they may have a response whenever... Okay, yeah. How interesting. Okay. Let's up that. Hit him for 2. Go up to 3 speed. Next turn. Ideally, we draw Hazoret. We play Hazoret into Gastral Thrill Seeker swing. That's our best draw, I think. But we will see. What is this? Flying Death Touch. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 land cards. Put those cards on the battlefield. Okay, yep. Okay. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Are they going to try and put loot in the cauldron? Thought about building a deck around that. Come on, Hazoret would be so hype. Okay. That's fine. So you'll see this will then get haste and death touch. This is now going to have double strike. We can throw out a Ginger Brute if they want to block with their 1/1 with death touch to block a Ginger Brute. That's fine by me. They're probably going to block the 2/3, which is also fine by me, or they might just take it. This is kind of cool, like putting exhaustibilities in the cauldron. They're going to want this dead to feed to Agatha's. I like what's going on over there. Let's things tap for mana, put a counter. Do I care about saving Ginger Brute or dealing a bunch? Because we could Monstrous Rage on Burnout, and that would be an additional 6 damage. We can wait on that. Let's We'll do this. Okay. So we're just gonna hit them. Been a little sniffly today. I also, filming my last long form, I talked about how, like, I normally don't do long forms in one sitting. I made the last long form in one sitting, and then immediately made the short for the next day, and my throat was, like, dying. Normally, I'm pretty good. Like, I've gotten my, like, way of speaking loudly and excitingly without hurting my voice. That was rough, especially because it was, my long forms now have my face in them to start, and I get really nitpicky over the intros, and eventually I just have to say, you know, screw it, whatever, it is what it is. But like, I did that first take so many times. It's like 20 seconds, but I probably spent 15 minutes filming that. Oh yes, they're gonna put loot in the cauldron! Not that I'm, you know, happy to see loot in a cauldron, but like, I'm kind of happy to see loot in a cauldron. Except loot is not going to end up in a cauldron because we are in fact going to Witch Stalker Frenzy it. This is going to put a counter on it, sure. Sure. Oh, okay. They just wanted the mana. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Loot will end up in the graveyard, and there's actually another loot over there. So things are going to all have this ability, which is going to become problematic. But, you know, that's another That's a problem for another time. Let's throw Monstrous Rage on there and then like make it even bigger. So we're gonna hit for 13, right? Or not 13, for 10, bringing them down to 3 from 13. My brain works, I promise. Play Commander. So right now we are doing the Aetherdrift Early Access, which is standard and limited only. So I've looked at doing some Commander gameplay on the channel, either like pre-recorded or like live or something, but I have a lot of cool project ideas and it's just lower on the priority list right now. Although I do enjoy Commander, and Commander is one of my favorite ways to play. Although I know I'm not unique in that regard at all. So yeah. Seems good. I think we might lose this. Although we could get a Hazoret out of nowhere. So they changed the hover over effect. Like it's much more like poofy now. I don't know how long it's been like that, but it definitely is like that right now. As I was saying, Hazoret. Yeah, they have to block that. Oh, we're gonna do that ability. Okay. This has already used that bottom ability, right? So, nah, we don't need to commit more. I mean, maybe... Actually, I probably should have, so I could sack things in response. Oh, whatever. It's fine. They would need, like, I don't know, a loot with haste. Or to, you know, draw 3 cards. I would absolutely love it. Okay, so they can gain 1 life, so that's never mind. I was gonna say, if I could just get another Gastral Thrill Seeker and just ping them for 1, but they can at least gain 1 more life by exiling a card with Agathos. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now they can have 2 more lives. They'll be at 3 life. Oh, except they can also put a card with this, which will leave, so they'll be at 5 life. Which does put them out of range. If they play a creature to block, which I assume they will, although loot's no longer an option. They're at 5. This can't be blocked this turn, because we swing with this. It's still going to be close. But yeah, if any of you have any questions or anything, either about the set, the mechanics, me, I don't know, the world. Not anything too serious though. Not vibing with that today. It's like asking people to ask me questions about the world in general is a risky, risky thing with the craziness going on. Okay, so 7. Okay, are they really gonna lose all of those abilities? I mean, like, look at this thing. Do they really want to lose those? No. That's what I thought. So they have to block the 5/3, unless they have some removal. Got Mythic yet. This is unranked. I've gotten Mythic approximately one time, mostly because I wanted to prove I could do it, and then after that I was like, that was kind of a waste of time. I've been mostly vibing with Brawl. Okay. This is a choice. Still a choice. This is still lethal. Alright, good game. That was a choice. I got Mythic last season and I agree. Yep. Yeah, I did it literally. Oh, green screen. Stop bugging out. Also, I hit my mic again. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I did it once and I was like, well, that was a kind of waste of time because it is a test of skill. Like, I think I could do it every season if I want, but it's a test of skill and patience. Like, I just don't have the time to play that many games because, I mean, at the highest ranks, you should win slightly above 50% of the time, which means to go up the ranks, you have to play a lot of games. You know, the better you are, the more likely you are to win, and then the faster it should go. But even if you won like every game, it would still take time. Like, and that's not going to happen. Occasionally, you're just not going to draw your lands. You're not going to whatever. Even with a 75% win rate, it still takes more time than necessarily I want to put in. I've really been just playing limited events and Brawl because I just find them to be more fun. It's much easier. Like, it's also like I will often play the arena on the go, and it's like I will pick it up and do something, and then if I have to go, like if I'm playing Brawl, I can just concede. Like, it doesn't really matter. But in ranked, you're very much punished for doing that. And that's not very fun, and like, so then I lose some of that, you know, easy magic, and I actually have to kind of lock in, and if I'm going to lock in, I might as well just go to, like, F&M, so. Yeah. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that headphone hair is wonderful. Very true. Who's your favorite commander? My favorite commander is Joda Archmage Eternal. He lets you pay Wooburg rather than pay the cost of your spells. And yeah, I can't necessarily, I mean, I can tell you why. I just like casting really big stuff for way too cheap a mana. But it is a card that I opened very early in my Magic career. Because I started with Aether Revolt. And I remember being like, Dominaria is a legendary in every pack. That's so cool. And I opened it, I got Joda, and I was like, this is broken. And this was back when, like, it was very, very casual. And, you know, I ran a Joda deck. This was before I even knew what Commander was. And had one Joda and a bunch of expensive spells. And if I didn't draw Joda, I just didn't do anything. And I was like, well, when I started building Commander decks, I was like, which one do I start with? And it was like, very obviously, I should do Joda. So yeah, I love Joda. I'm assuming you hit Mythic every season, limited with that gem and gold count. That's wild. No, I don't actually play Arena that much. This is a early access account provided by Wizards of the Coast. I only get access to this on early access days, so normally the Wednesday before pre-release. And they give us like a ton of golden gems so that we can play whatever we want during the event. But yeah, my actual account does not have that much gold and gems. Yeah, it's a pretty cool program they do. I wish they let us play Brawl. Like, you can, if I like DM'd people, like if I had someone to directly play against, we could play any format, like Timeless or Brawl or whatever. But then you're not playing against a variety of people. It's always the same person, and I kind of enjoy the limited. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That is, the direct program is very, very cool. It's, you know, a lot of people really like Magic Online because you can like do full set completion, and the direct program is kind of a way on Arena to turn your like playing into physical product. It is a little more skill based versus like online is just, did you get all of the cards, where this is like, oh, did you do well in this like event. But yeah, I really like the direct program. I've never really done it. I just, I don't know. Outside, like, I enjoy limited. I just don't like the high stakes of it. Like, again, I there's a reason I've moved over to Brawl. I just play Arena for fun. You know, and it feels like that in like Arena Directs. Not Arena Directs, that's what I just said. Arena Opens, like, those are such high stakes things that they, not that I can't handle like stress, but just I don't know. I would prefer to just do my quick drafts or my premier drafts and not have to worry as much about it and feeling like, oh, I've invested this much of my in-game currency. But I've considered doing it for a stream because I think it makes good content. Having like high stakes makes good like live stream content. And yeah, we're gonna hold up that 2 for when this thing attacks. I've gotten Mythic every season for the last year until 2 months ago. It's very much a waste of time, especially since standard events don't rank you up. Yep, I do think that's part of why I'm very happy, in case you guys haven't seen, Arena is adding achievements. You've got to be kidding me. Vigilance. They're adding achievements to Arena, so like you can get stuff for doing stuff. That was real descriptive. And it's not just prioritizing wins, which I think is one of Arena's biggest problems, is that it very much just wants you to win, and it means that everything is super like sweaty, and winning is the #1 priority, which is fine. Arena was built as like an esports, a way to try to push Magic into esports, and that's where Arena Directs and Arena Opens are, and I do enjoy playing that way sometimes, but just a lot of the time I don't. A lot of the time I just want to play Magic and just have some fun. I used to post kind of a long time ago, and then I took a break from Magic, and I kept playing this game. Or no, I took a break from Paper Magic, was only playing Arena for a while. That kind of burnt me out. And then I was just making videos but not playing Magic, and then I got burnt out of that because I wasn't thrilled with Magic, and I wasn't, excited for every Magic event that happened. Wait, that's actually hype. And then I eventually got back into it in Paper, and then I've now gotten back into it on Arena, and I realized going from playing only Paper to Paper and Arena to only Arena to only Paper to Paper and Arena again, I've just realized how much more I prefer Paper Magic a lot of the time. Except, and a lot of that is that I don't necessarily need to be competitive all the time. I can just, chill. And that's where Brawl has been such a big thing. I love Brawl on Arena. It is so fun to just, like, chill and relax. And play Magic, like, before I go to bed. It's like, I don't want to have to, like, I don't want to say think. Thinking is fine, but just, I don't want to have to try that hard. If I run into a deck I don't want to play against, I want to be able to just concede with no penalty. Yeah. All right. Did you see the announcement of an arena-style commander game coming at some point in the future? Yeah, I saw that, like... Well, okay. So this was a very confusing thing, because the Arena devs came out, and one of them said, like, oh, I was working on, I think it was achievements, and my next big project is, like, more than 2 players. And, that's probably a long ways down the road, but we're, like, excited to add it to Arena, and, like, we're actually starting to, like, develop it. And that was really exciting news. And then at an investor meeting, Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro, I think this is all just from what I remember, basically said, yeah, we're looking at like another digital client that isn't Arena to play, to play Commander with. And I mean, from one perspective, I see like, yes, Arena was built very competitively, like with competitive in mind, and honestly, the performance isn't that great. You shouldn't need as good of specs as you need, and it shouldn't make your phone run as hot as it does. And so imagine adding 2 more players to that. Like, I kind of get that, but This will now be like the second or third time that, you know, we went from Magic Online to then there was like Duels of Planeswalkers, now to Arena. And if we do another jump, I just don't think Magic needs 3 different ways to play online. And I really hope that if there is someone working on a Commander or multiplayer thing, that it just gets merged into Arena. I hope that was something that like Chris Cox didn't necessarily understand, and like maybe it is a separate client, but it shares your Arena card pool. Maybe that's what it is, and there was some miscommunication somewhere. But they were very, very confusing about their announcements, because the Arena team made it sound like, yes, it's the Arena team working on it, and it will be implemented into Arena. And then Chris Cox comes out and it makes it sound like it's a completely separate thing where you're probably going to have a separate selection of cards and it'll be a different client. Don't know what it's going to be. Maybe they can, you know, maybe the ideal solution here is that your Arena collection just becomes like your online collection. Not online's bad because it's Magic, but like I could imagine a world where they're like, hey, you have this collection of online cards and you can use those cards on MTG Arena, which is the competitive focused online client, and then you could have some other client for like Commander and all of that, and you share a base set of cards. I think that could be really, really cool, and it could let them do some cool other games that don't necessarily have to use like Arena's engine, but can use that same pool of cards. I think that would be, if they're going to do another client for Commander, that should be it. Otherwise, they should just make 4-player Brawl. I think 4-player Brawl solves all the problems. We don't have to worry about having all the cards. We can use the existing client, and it sounds like they're already working on it, so we're going to have to see, but yeah. Um, but yeah. Sorry. Got a weird message on my phone. But yeah. Did my headphones die or something? Oh, yeah, I can literally see them blinking in the camera feed. Give me 1 second. Oh no, I don't think they died. I mean, it's just oddly quiet. I don't know where the Arena music went. But yeah. Multiplayer Arena would be hype. And obviously it is 2-player now, but like multiplayer, like more than 2 players. I'd love Two-Headed Giant. I would love Commander or 4-player Brawl or whatever they want to call it. All right, let me focus up on this game. I've been slacking these last couple games. Yeah. As a reminder to everyone watching the Vertical Live, if you want to see the cards a little bit more clearly, you can go through my channel and find the horizontal live stream. In the live tab, there'll be one that says Vertical Live and one that just says Live, and the one that just says Live is the one that is horizontal. So. Yeah. Okay. Let's lock in. Got 2-1 with Death Touch. How interesting. Yeah, I'll do this. That's what I thought. We are actually about to hit 2,000 views on the Vertical Live, and if you add in the views from the horizontal live, we are well over 2,000. So thank you guys all very much. Oh, we actually just crossed 2,000 on the Vertical Live. This has been kind of an experiment today. It's been a great success. I'm glad so many of you are enjoying watching and seeing this Aetherdrift early access gameplay. If there's anything in particular you want to see, if there's a standard deck you want me to try, or you want to see standard instead of limited, or you want to switch up the limited deck, let me know in the chat, and we can, you know, we pretty much have access to whatever. We can do a draft. We can do a, I do not know what just happened. I looked away for half a second. Yeah, we have access to, you know, sealed, premier draft, and standard. And then we have 2 standards. We have kind of like mess around, have fun standard, and then we have ranked standard, which is for competitive decks that may only have a couple Aetherdrift cards. Draft would be cool. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's probably what I'll move to after this. I enjoy doing sealed first, just as a way to like get used to the cards. One caveat for multiplayer is that timers would definitely have to be revamped. Otherwise, we're definitely playing sweaty games for 3 hours. Yeah, I think it depends. If you're looking at like, it's weird because like CEDH is like a format. I know, that sounds dumb to say, but like, you know, I do think they're like, if you want, you could do like a competitive brawl thing if you wanted, and then that might need to work differently than normal brawl. I guess I would have to play and figure that out. Like, our brawl games, like, because commander games, you can sit there and play one commander game for 2 hours. I don't imagine I'd want to sit here and play a brawl game for 2 hours, but maybe I would, if it's 4-player and like the same kind of dynamics that a brawl game has, or that a commander game has. But then again, you're missing like the entire social aspect of it, so I'm not quite sure. I maybe should have blocked that, but I kind of want to be able to swing with a bunch of power. Destroy target artifact. Oh, you may sacrifice a creature vehicle if you do destroy target artifact. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's the same message. Okay, yep, and we are cruising along on Vertical Live. Again, thank you all. If you're enjoying the stream, I'm about to feel like such a shill. Hit that like button. Maybe subscribe if you're not. I don't know if the demographic here is, if you're watching. Are you subscribed? Do you watch my videos regularly? Is this hitting a new audience? I'd love to know. Boy, oh boy, I feel like I hit a brick wall in terms of energy. I apologize, guys. Let me, continue drinking my coffee. Yeah. This has been awesome, guys. Honestly, this is probably the most fun I've had doing a live stream, in quite some time. That's actually... Again, like, there was that period where I did a live stream every week, and I found that I just wasn't enjoying it, because I was forced to do, not forced to, but I, was trying to do it every week, and I was trying to hit 2 hours every week, and, I very much enjoy just sitting on here, playing some arena, hanging out. You know, this is a little bit forced, I couldn't just do this any day, it would have to be today. But yeah, definitely expect maybe even some more just, pop-up streams, like streams that come out of nowhere, were not pre-announced. This one had some promotion to it over the past couple days. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. But this is so annoying. You know, I would expect, and they may be shorter. I think that's the big thing I've learned, is that if I set myself a strict schedule on, I'm just gonna die. If I set myself a strict schedule, I'm just not going to end up enjoying it. One thing I did actually consider doing, so Final Fantasy is not the next set. The next set is Tarkir, which will be cool. And then the set after that is Final Fantasy. And I've never played a Final Fantasy game. I considered playing some of those on stream. I know it's not Magic, but I would love to hear feedback on that. Would that be something you'd be interested in? I don't know which game I'd be playing. I know very little about Final Fantasy. I'm just gonna die. Oh. Yeah, that game was a lost cause. It's fine. Oh. Why is the green screen doing that? That's so fun. There's no room for politics with just emotes, and MTG Online showed why an in-game chat function is also toxic. Yeah. I think you could do more like in-game politics with emotes. Like I think with an emote system or like a politicking system, you could. It would be very limited and whatever. I think you can do chat as long as it's very optional. Like if you just don't want to do chat, if you can just like mute chat always, like in perpetuity, like that's probably the right solution. I'm new to your content, but I'd enjoy watching Final Fantasy content. Awesome. Good to know. I considered doing it for Fallout, but hadn't gotten live streaming stuff set up the way I like it. Even this, like the green screen right now, you can kind of see the ghosting around my hand. I'm working on getting that fixed. I just need better lighting, and so yeah, you should be able to see that. See those improvements. I really enjoy the week over week improvements, and I hope if you watch my shorts that you've seen like they've gotten slowly better. There's very rarely will you see a big jump in something with them, but if you compare a short now to a short I made a year ago, there are so many little things that have improved week over week, and that's really what I'm striving for. I think I want to go back to standard. I want to try this speed deck one more time, and then I also have a vehicle deck that I want to try. Again, not trying to claim these are necessarily great decks, but they are decks, and they do use some cards. This is gonna be a little bold without black mana, but so yeah, we're gonna Hired Claw, the only lizard in here. We're gonna get to start our engines and uptick it. We have a Gastral Thrill Seeker, which hopefully we get a black mana by the turn we are gonna set up. Oh yes, the setup. Oh my god, I love the setup. Uh-oh. So we can up our speed. In an ideal world, we get a black land, whether that be a swamp or like a verge or whatever, next turn. And then, yeah. If you are looking for the deck list, it is live on my Mox field, but I will also put it in the chats. I don't think you'll be able to click it from the vertical live, but you can click it from, what do you call it? The horizontal live. Each Final Fantasy is a different story. I recommend Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are my favorites. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to look at them. No guarantees that I'll do that. Again, there's a bunch of cool stuff I'm working on in the back that I'll probably prioritize. But if I end up finding the time to do it, I will definitely try. Yeah, I would love a Verge. That would actually be like awesome right now. Yeah. Ugh. No. We can at least get up to max speed. So now Hazoret can attack or block, which is cool. Whew. Sorry, guys. Overlord of the Balemark. I didn't realize how expensive this card had gotten. Like, I looked... I occasionally will go through and look at, like, sets and be like, hey, what's the most expensive thing? That way, if I'm ever, like, going through cards to build a deck, I can, like, pull it. But, yeah, I saw that one. It's up to, like, $40 if I'm not mistaken. I should double check that, but, like, Overlord of the Balemark. $33.25. Which it was not nearly that price when it came out, which is interesting. I feel like maybe I don't know if I'm paying more attention, but it feels like it used to be that all of the cards in a set were pretty expensive at pre-order time, and then they all crashed. And then 6 months, 7 months later, you start to see them rise. But now it feels like every set, they're all pretty high at pre-order. They all crash, except 1 or 2 that were not high to start end up taking off. And I don't know if the community's getting worse at evaluating cards. I don't know if I'm just paying attention more, and this has been happening for a long time. But it's like Vaultborn Tyrant from OTJ. We have Psychic Frog from Modern Horizons 3. We have Innkeeper's Talent from Bloomburrow. Honestly, a lot of the talents from Bloomburrow. We have Abhorrent Oculus even a little bit from Dustmourne and Overlord of the Balemark. I've noticed this trend a little bit more. I'm new to the channel, by the way. Really enjoy it. Final Fantasy VII is probably the best story of any of the games, but I really enjoy Final Fantasy XII for the way the fighting system is set up. Awesome. Yeah, I love all the feedback. Oh my god, wait, 8-8? This is not good. I think we may just pass and leave up our indestructible 5/3 blocker. But yeah. I don't know, yeah, but yeah, the magic set thing, like, feels like there's something that spikes, and I'm trying now to identify. I'm like, what from Aetherdrift is going to be underrated and randomly spike? Maybe nothing. Come on, misclick, misclick, misclick. No. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Okay, you gonna do something? Do it now before I do something else? And do it against Hazoret instead of the creature that can actually die? Would love some black mana right about now. That would be, like, incredibly exciting. Glissa. Oh my god, Glissa Overlord. I love Glissa Overlord. Silent Hall Creeper. This feels very much like a Dustmourne deck. Well, this is rude. I would really appreciate it, game, if you could give me some black mana. Sorry, I don't know why my brain just stopped working there in the middle of that sentence. Yeah. They are each amazingly built out with tons of replayability because they're days of side quest content. That's awesome. I like games that can be very long, but don't necessarily have to be. Like, Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games. Maybe like a basic take, but I love Breath of the Wild because you can just play the game. I mean, you could go up to Ganon like as soon as the game starts, pretty much. And so you can kind of make the game as long or short as you want, but it has a very decently long main quest if you want to do the whole main quest. So yeah. Yep. Sorry, if I keep looking over here, it's where I can, like, see all the stats of the stream and, like, what I look like and make sure that I'm centered in frame. I'm sure it's been a little weird seeing me just look over. I apologize. Okay. You know, black mana, again, would be kind of hype. I don't know. I think we're just dead. Oh my gosh. Um... Okay. Trying to think what we could draw here that would like save us, and I don't know if there's an answer to that. Mimeoplasm. You simplified. Huh. I do not remember that being a button. Good game. Hey, you're horizontal now. Yep. Yep. It is a new thing I am trying here. I think it's going well. I think this is officially my most watched stream, which makes sense. A lot of my viewership comes from short form, short speed stuff. I may slowly start rolling out to other platforms as well. I think TikTok will probably be next. But I want to make sure that I get this down first, and then after we get this down, we can look at going over to TikTok and Twitch and whatever else. But yeah, let's try something. So I did build another deck. This one was literally like 3 hours ago. I was just like, oh, I kind of want to see what a vehicle deck looks like. Last time vehicles were in standard, it was like in a major way would have been Aether Revolt, and that was that would have been right about when Arena started. It would not like, what am I trying to say? Kaladesh Remastered came out like way after, and so we really haven't seen a standard on Arena with vehicles in any meaningful capacity. Oh, that's the link to the deck, not the yeah, I'm smart today, guys. Don't worry. No, I don't want to download for MTGO. Export for Arena. Wait, this is the exact same deck list. Did I just link the same thing twice? No. What did I... Am I being dumb? Oh. Yes, I am being dumb. Okay. Apologies for the delay. Let's start your engines. So we are doing a red-white kind of aggressive deck. So just to quickly run through it, our goal here is to use Salvation Engine to give all of our artifact creatures +2/+2. We're gonna have some like lower cost creatures. Our vehicles, unidentified hover ships, it's good removal. Gastel Thrill Roller can kind of come out more aggressively, and we can like we can return it once or twice. Not twice. We can return it exactly once. Wow. Brain, please start working. And then, oh my gosh, I have something in my eye. This is not going well. Okay. restart, vehicle deck, red and white. We are looking to get out Valor Flagship and Salvation Engine to win the game, preferably using like Colodin to give them haste so they can attack right away. We have some cards that care about becoming tapped down here and some low-cost vehicles to make that happen. I also want to see how Chandra plays, so we got some of those as well. Let's jump into it. Again, none of these decks have been played, so they're not fine-tuned. I'm not telling you to go spend your wild cards on this deck. That is what we're here to figure out. So, yep. Yep. So far, so fun. Yeah. I am running out of things to talk about. Let's think. Commander decks are very cool. I really like the zombie deck from this. I wanted to double check that the arena has the zombie deck. Sure. That was something. Holy, that was really something. Sure. We'll play Country Roads into Reluctant Role Model. Okay, I see. I understand. We are going to just do that, and then we are going to put a flying counter on him. And then we can play the Gastel Thrill Roller. It becomes a creature. We can then swing with flying. They do have untapped mana, so we do have to be aware of that. Oh, I don't know if I've... No, I did this very thing during the Dustborn Early Access. I was like, I don't remember if I ever, like, have done this. So, Reluctant Role Models back in our hand. A little rude. Recently got into Magic and your vids help a lot. Oh, I love to hear that. I try to make my videos good for people who have been playing Magic forever, but also people who are new to the game. It's little things. Like, I switched away from using, like, the you know, Esper for white, blue, black, and just saying white, blue, black. And I think it's a good way that, like, it doesn't take that much longer, and it makes it a lot more accessible. So I'm glad you're able to enjoy them and have some fun or find them useful or whatever. However you choose to enjoy my content. Wow, my brain's really tripping over itself right now. I do in fact apologize. So, oh. Is there a reason this is crude right now? Let's go flying. Although this does have reach, so maybe not that useful. All right. Yep, that seems about right. I guess we Reluctant Role Model. Do we actually want to do that? I mean, I guess we can... Oh, we have to discard a card to do that. Never mind. Don't want to do that. Never mind. I don't think I read how this card works. Yo, I really don't see a world where we win this, but I can hope. We got some really fidgety pets, companions, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I don't think there's a single card in this deck that can do anything about this. We will, I guess get rid of it. Hope for something good on our turn. Again, I don't know what that good could be, but we'll figure it out. No, probably not this. This is probably not the good we needed.
Out of my way. I'm here to win.
Wow, a vehicle.
My team's got me covered. Push it to the limit.
Alright. That is going to be lethal. It's about what I expected. Okay, please just kill me. Oh, I guess they don't technically have lethal on me. Technically. Because I can just... I'm just gonna let myself die. I would like to go to the next game. Oh. Oops. Alright. Let me, drink some more of this coffee. I'm going to end up falling asleep over here. Alright. Yeah, let's do that one more time. I think we can get a better start. Alright. DFT Pro Tour 11. This hand is not it. But if we draw a vehicle or mount... No. We're not going to... Well, first off, we're not going to draw a mount because this deck does not run those. Yeah, this seems fine. I'm going to get rid of Chandra. I'm not vibing with Chandra. Although Chandra is one of the easy ways to crew this vehicle. Hey, that makes this hand much better. I do really like this play pattern of avoid your Glidecar on 1, creature on 2, especially this guy. Like, it does feel pretty solid. You know. Crew it. You know, it has survival, so then we gain flying on it, so that we can just swing with it if we need to. Like, next turn we'll play the Wanderglyph to crew this. 2/4 with reach. Huh. How interesting. I mean, I guess what we can do... We can... Oh, this is actually hype. Okay. Let's just crew this. We don't actually have to swing with it. I just want this tapped so I can put a +1/+1 counter. And then we can cycle this away and create a pilot. Then next turn cast the Salvation Engine. -3/-3 or draw 2 cards. Or -5/-5 or draw 2 cards. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I messed up. I should have created the creature. I should have crewed. Oops. I could have had the flying and the +1/+1 counter on this pilot. Dang. That's actually really sad. We'll do the Verge. We'll play the Salvation Engine. I don't have a great way of crewing that right now, but it's here. But if we draw like Chandra would be hyped now. That would be very exciting. I don't know what's happening over here. Okay, I now know what's happening a little bit over here. This just seems like a mess of stuff. Also, so far, I haven't seen a Aetherdrift card. How have I never seen this card before? I'm just trying to do cool card things. Oh, yes! Sure. I just want to say that I did something. Wow. And then we're going to swing. And then we're going to get this out. Wow. And then we can definitely crew that. Alright, we're dead. That at least felt a little better. Hey, Aetherdrift card. Please just kill me. I'm just gonna concede. I normally like to let people do their thing, but just swing at me with your 17/11/11s, please. Okay. Let's try that again. One more time. Okay. Seeing the difference in stats between the vertical live and the horizontal live is very interesting, and like average view duration and like total views, current viewers, like it's all very interesting to see. Yeah, if you are watching on the vertical live and are squinting, trying to see what's happening on the screen, which I would totally understand, I'm also streaming horizontally on this channel, so if you just click on my profile, you can then go to, it'll be called Aetherdrift, like early, wait, let me Aetherdrift Early Access Live and then the little racing flag, where the vertical live stream is Aetherdrift Early Access Vertical Live with the racing flag. And I think next time I'll do different thumbnails so it's a little more obvious. But yeah, that's part of a new thing I'm doing where I am streaming both horizontally and vertically because a lot of my audience obviously comes from short form. So I felt like it made a lot more sense to also stream over there. So yeah. Also, if you're not already, you can check me out on Blue Sky. Been doing some stuff there, posting some deck lists, new stuff. Always trying out new things. The other new thing, YouTube now has a community tab on my channel, which it used to be a community tab where like I could post things and I would do like polls and stuff to try and figure out and like gauge community sentiment on stuff. And now you all can post on there apparently on mobile, so you have to be on like a phone, but you can go to you can go onto the YouTube app, and in the post section, there's a thing that says like go to community, and then there's like a whole community in here, and like it'll be my post, but then there's also like other people that aren't me posted in there, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you haven't tried that out, it's a interesting new YouTube feature. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe I should have kept it, because clearly this thing is not working. This... Ooh, Marauding Mako. Which I now know is pronounced Mako. We're gonna keep that there. But yeah. If there are any decks or any cards you want to see decks around, let me know. We can, we have access to every card on Arena. Only access to Standard right now, so, like, we're not going to go build a Timeless deck over here. But if it's in Standard, you know, we can do a deck around it. Preferably, though, with lots of new Aetherdrift cards. We'll do Flying. Is this a Pirate deck? That's kind of hype. Okay. Training Grounds makes abilities cheaper. Okay. Marauding Mako. I do think we are going to do a unidentified hover ship. Getting rid of one of these Makos. Well, I mean, I guess we'll get rid of the one with flying, because it's the same effect. And then we will crew this. It ends up same damage, but then we can also put a counter on the role model. We'll go +1/+1. That should get it pretty strong to attack, and then we'll be able to, you know, give it lifelink next turn. I would, in fact, love another... I mean, I guess I could cycle this for another creature. Yeah, I think we're gonna Lightning Helix or cycle for a creature. I mean, I guess we could have done that before combat and also crewed something else, but... We'll do lifelink. If they go to kill our Reluctant Role Model, what will we do? We will make our creature first, because I forgot that it can pass its counters around. Honestly, I was kind of just like, oh, let me go look at the Dutsmorn Survival cards, because they work really well with vehicles, because you can tap without having to necessarily attack, and you can get it the turn it comes out without having to attack. I just don't want to deal with that, so... Yo. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll cycle this away. That'll make us a pilot. Now if Reluctant Role Model dies... Oh, and we can play this. That's hype. And then we can crew this guy with the pilot. Swing for 5 with lifelink. Put another counter on the Reluctant Role Model. This is more what I envision this deck doing. Again, not trying to say these decks are good. I just more wanted to get a feel of playing with these cards. I do think Voyager Glide Car has some potential, especially because you can tap 3 creatures, and there's that whole Boros Convoke deck. Actually, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to take the Boros Convoke deck and try putting this in it and seeing how it does, because it can come down early to be an artifact that you blow up to Gleeful Demolition, but if you've already Gleeful Demolition, you can tap 3 of them to put a +1/+1 counter on this, and flying. It scries when it enters. Like, it seems like it could be really good. Oh my god. With toughness 5 or less. We gotta do this like next turn. If we're ever gonna do it, it's gonna be right now. And then we will get... You know what? Actually, I'll go for the extra... I'll purposely put it on the ground, because if they want to block, I will take this trade literally every day of the week. That's what I thought. We'll do a +1/+1 counter. I think, Brassic Tunnel Grinder. That may turn on Kiora, which will get them an 8/8, but we do have a 5/5 flyer in the air, so I'm really not too worried. I think we pretty much have this game in the bag, which is pretty hype. Yeah. Also, quick question: if I spend a lot of time just building decks because I enjoy it. It's very fun. Oh, what the hell happened? Okay. I spend a lot of time building decks. If you guys would want to see me do like deck building and stuff like that, I would love to know. Also, I mean, we're fine because I can do this. Yeah, just let me know in the chat. I've seen some people do like build with me, like on Mox Field, maybe even potentially in paper. Although at this point, a lot of building decks in paper is just sorting through boxes of cards. Which, I mean, if that's something if that's something people would find interesting, I'd be down to do it. I did order a Festival in a Box for Chicago, so I may open that live. I thought that might be a fun way. Last time I opened it and then edited it down into a short, kind of breaking down what was in it, but they're sold out now. Last time they weren't sold out, and it made a lot more sense to be like, hey, what's in this? So if you knew, if you wanted to buy it, you could see what was in it. Speaking of Chicago, if any of you guys are going to MTGRecon Chicago, I will be there. That is, yeah, I will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have a meet and greet slot, I believe, on Saturday, but you can check the MTGRecon schedule and you can see when that is. So if you want to come say hi, I don't know, want me to sign something or get a picture, I don't know what you want to do. If you just want to say hi, feel free. Yeah. So that'll be pretty exciting. I'll also just be around, if you want to get a game in. I would love to play. I'll have commander decks on me, kind of varying in power level. So, yeah, I'll be doing another like more formal announcement of that, like soonish. Yeah. Oh, it's waiting for me. I was like, why isn't this game starting? Let's do this guy. We've yet to have him out. Whenever it enters exile target. Oh. I know what Glass Casket is. Well, we get to exile some stuff. Wait, is this not just the same artifact deck? I don't want to play against the same artifact deck. Hey. Okay. I guess I don't get to do that. Ah, that's funny. You think that's gonna stick. If you're gonna blow up all my stuff, I'm gonna make sure you don't get to keep any of yours. Gotta do a quick posture check. My friend says vehicles are bad in the MTG Arena Discord. I said, what about the UFO? Thoughts yourself. His reasoning is that there are no pro decks with vehicles. I think vehicles generally are bad, but I think they're generally probably overhated because they are, and I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, they're a feel bad mechanic, as in you see this as a 4/2 for 3 with trample and haste that you can like discard cards to cast for free, but then you're like, oh, but it's not always a creature. So I think they generally feel bad, and the other issue they have is that they're kind of like equipment decks where you need vehicles, but then you also need creatures to crew them. And so if you pull all of your vehicles and not any of your creatures, it feels bad. And if you pull all your creatures and none of your vehicles, your deck might not be doing anything. So, you know, I think that is probably the biggest like issue with them. I think there are one-off vehicles, like unidentified hover ship, for example. It is removal, and I think the best vehicles are the ones where you don't see the crewing as a downside. The best vehicles are the ones where it is basically like an enchantment or an artifact, like the chariot that gives you 2/2 zombies when you discard cards, right? That feels like an enchantment, and then it has the ability to become a creature when you crew it. Oh, I don't know what's up with my lighting. And it has the ability to become a creature as an upside. And I think it depends on how you're thinking about it. I think it depends on the card. If it's a vehicle that the only purpose of it is to attack, either because it's only just a big power toughness, or it is, you know, has an attacks trigger, I think that's where it feels like a bad, and I say bad, like a feels bad mechanic, even if it's not bad. So I think the big thing is that the best feeling vehicles and the vehicles that I think have the best chance in pro play are ones where you are happy at the floor of the card. Because when you look at pro play, a lot of it is about consistency. You know, if I draw this card, what is the worst it's going to be and what's the best? If the worst it's going to be is completely unplayable and do nothing. Okay, I really don't know why my lighting is doing this. If the worst it's going to be is a do nothing spell, that's kind of bad. But if we can get it to be at worst a removal spell, and at best a removal spell that also hits your opponent, that's where it starts to become good. Yeah. I feel like they're great with survival creatures. Yeah, there are some really cool things you can do. Okay, I keep looking away, and then my board is gone. So I am just going to keep getting rid of their stuff. But yeah, I think it's a lot of based around perception, and again, I think if you are not... I don't know where my brain's going with this. I ran out of coffee. Yeah. I think I made my point. Yeah, I guess the way to put it is that I don't think vehicles are naturally bad, but I also don't think they're naturally good, and it depends on what the vehicle does. Smuggler's Copter is an insane card, and it is a vehicle. It's kind of interesting because I have this series where I talk about like broken mechanics, and it's interesting because one of the mechanics I chose to do was Cipher, which lets you like exile a card underneath a creature, and when that creature hits an opponent, you get to cast a copy of the card. And the mechanic is broken, but it appears on pretty much no good cards because it's so broken. And that's kind of how I feel like Like, a mechanic can be good, but not appear on good cards. And a mechanic can be bad and appear on broken cards. And it kind of just depends. Anthony, how are you liking the set? So far, Limited has been fun. I'm so sorry to my opponent. Yeah, Limited has been fun. We're doing Constructed right now, where I'm just trying out some of the new vehicle cards, and so far it's fine. I mean, I always enjoy new Magic cards. It's kind of like Marvel movies, where like if I enjoy the Marvel movie, maybe it wasn't the best movie in the world, but I enjoyed it and I wasn't bored, which I know isn't high praise. But this set, you know, I'm not bored playing it. It's fun. There are some new designs that I think are going to be great in a lot of decks. I don't know how much impact it'll have on Standard. As Standard balloons in size, each card has to be more powerful to be impactful. So, in theory, we're going to see less and less cards actually matter. Yeah. I think I have enough hover ships. Yeah. How are you guys feeling about the set? I know most people don't have their hands on it, but I've been enjoying it on Arena. I've enjoyed it in paper. Defiant Survivor is my crew or saddle creature of choice, and Simplified to replace itself with the Manifest Dread. That's fair. I really like mounts. As much as, you know, we've talked about vehicles, mounts feel like... I look away for half a second. Mounts feel like fixed vehicles, where like you don't have the problem of drawing too many creatures and too many vehicles. Like you can saddle things, you can saddle mounts with other mounts. Vehicles, you know, you can kind of do that, but you do need a creature to start. Yeah. Good game, I guess. Yo. Yeah. My gosh. Yep. As I've talked about a couple times, green screen's being a little weird. I will work on that for future streams. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Okay, please just swing at me. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that artifact deck. I think we played against that person now twice. I've seen it twice. I want to get the vibe of this deck because I like it. I don't think it'll be competitive, like I said. But I do like it. It is fun. It's been a little bit since I've said it. If you're watching on the vertical live stream, I'm also streaming horizontally if you want to get closer to the cards, because I know it can be kind of hard to see on mobile on the horizontal lives or on the vertical lives. If you're watching in the short speed, it can be kind of hard to see. So I'm also streaming horizontally. You can find that on my channel. It's the one that just says live, not vertical live. And yeah, if that's easier, that's what I just did. Lol. Yep. Yeah. YouTube keeps emailing me and like messaging me on YouTube Studio being like, hey, you know, you can do vertical lives, right? And I was like, you know, I'll try it. A lot of my audience comes from the shorts feed anyway, so like maybe get to see more people. And this has been my most successful stream kind of by a long shot. So I appreciate all of you for coming out. Oh, the way this appears on my YouTube homepage. I actually went to go see like what it looks like, and it like shows up in people's like recommended and like not with a thumbnail. Weird. If I go to my shorts feed, does it show up? I don't know if I've ever seen a live. Oh, I guess I have. Okay, and if you click live from there, okay, it goes to the short. Goes to the short. That's cool. Okay, yeah, I haven't messed around with short form, or not short form, but it's so weird. They put live streams in the shorts feed, which is like the opposite of shorts. Good stuff, man. Keep it going. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, my favorite thing ever. The turn 2 immediate crew of the Voyager glide car using something that cares about being tapped. Oh. Brings a smile to my face. So let's swing for 2. Deck lists have been posted in the chat. If you want to see them, you can't click on them through the vertical. This is standard. So yeah, on the early access, we only have access to standard, draft, and sealed. There are 2 different standard queues. So there's a queue for competitive decks, and then there's a queue that are meant to be like current standard decks with maybe a couple Aetherdrift cards thrown in as a way to like test out what the new standard's going to be. And then there's this queue, which is intended to be like decks with a significant number of Aetherdrift cards. That's so rude. What did my poor, whatever his name is, Colodin do to you? But yeah. So they have, let me check something. So I got access back with March of the Machine, I think was the first set. It is something that I was invited to. At the time, I was an MTG ambassador, which I believe is the reason why. But there are a lot of people who get invited, and it's not just ambassadors. There's a large group. But I was an MTG ambassador at the time, so I was on Wizards' radar. But I know at some point they had an email address you could email requesting it. I don't know if they still do that. And I know they said they're working on how people can get access, but you do have to like either request access or be invited. Yeah. Oh, that was dumb. It's fine. Maybe oh wait, I don't even want a lightning helix. Whatever. You know, whatever. You can get a treasure. I'm not that worried about it. But yeah. Let's see. I don't know what else to talk about. I had a list of things I was like, oh, I want to talk about this and this and this, and we kind of went through them. Talked about MagicCon Chicago, future plans, new stuff on the channel, like live long form videos are back. A lot more face cam in long form video. Potentially looking at doing long form or more face cam in shorts. We're gonna experiment with that. What just happened? I need to stop looking away. This is becoming problematic. Is they're at 32 life, and I don't love doing this to a 1/1, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah. my goodness. Somehow I've gotten 19 text notifications since I last looked down. What do I think about the expansion? It's very, very in the middle average. It's not like Aftermath. It's not like Assassin's Creed. It's not bad, but it is not necessarily as good as something like Duskmourn or Bloomburrow or really anything from the second half of last year, I guess with the exception of Assassin's Creed. It feels very much like Karlov Manor, where if you like Magic... Not if you like Magic. There are a lot of people who are going to like Magic who are going to hate the set. If you really like playing with new cards, there will be the thrill of playing with new cards. It kind of reminds me of like an average MCU movie. It's enjoyable. You're probably not going to get bored playing like Limited, and you're going to have some fun cards to add to your deck. But it's no like No Way Home or, you know, not a top tier set. I think is my best way to describe it. How many vehicles do you have in your deck at the moment? Okay, probably too many, to be fair. Let's take a look. And that's part of what this is for. This, again, I threw this together without playing it at all. Yeah, right now, definitely need to cut, I think, one of those, and honestly, one of those. My original idea was to cheat out Valor's flagship more, but that's not happening. So I do think we need... like a couple more creatures to crew with. I know there's... Let me see. I don't remember what else I was looking at for this deck. It's becomes tapped. I want to see, are there any... Gain 1 life, scry 1... Okay, I do kind of want to try this card, actually. Let's cut... I'm going to go down to 1. I really want to try Chandra. We'll go to 2 and 2. They're just kind of expensive. And then we will... Let's try this. Do I have any sneaky redeem codes? I do not. I may be doing something for Magic Online later this month, but we'll have to see. So. Yeah. Yeah, me too on my main account. I will say, I do not have anywhere near that amount of gems. Like 600,000 gems, 600,000 coins. This is a test account. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast for free access to this account. We only get to use it for the early access event. We do not get to use it any other day of the year. It would be awesome. It also has like thousands of wild cards, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we do not get access to that most of the time. Yes, I collect cards IRL a lot more. In fact, I have my cards that I am currently sorting right next to me. I've let them kind of get a little unwieldy in their sorting. Yeah. Yeah. You can actually see, if you go to my Mox Field, here, let me send a link. Oh, that's just a link to Mox Field. If you go to my Mox Field, there are some of my decks. Any of the decks that are like base, like it'll be like a name, bar, and then a commander name, space EDH. Those are going to be like my decks that I have. Not all of them. I have a personal Mox Field account. But those are some of my like common ones. You know what? Sure. Let's try this. So you can kind of take a look at some of them. Again, not all of them are on there. I don't know if I actually put Nashi. You can also find some of my past, like, stuff. And I'm doing a new series called Decks on Deck over on Blue Sky, where I, any deck that I'm working on that I'm just like, again, I sometimes just build decks to build them. If I'm working on one, I'll post them there. They're normally not, like, super play tested, but they're just kind of what I'm working on at the moment, and then I can get some card suggestions from people, and it's kind of a fun thing. What do you like to play IRL? Talking about formats and decks. I mostly play Commander now. I also really like Limited. Like, I'm excited for pre-release on Friday or Saturday, whichever day I end up going. I like Commander a lot. I want to get more into Modern, like, in paper, but it is so expensive. As Modern has gotten more and more dominated by Modern Horizons cards, it's actually been a lot more achievable for me to get into, because I have bought in, I think I've got at least one box of each Modern Horizons set. So, like, I have a good chunk, and Modern Horizons 3 is, I think that's my most open set of any set. It's either that or Lord of the Rings, which are both Modern legal. As for decks, for Commander, really like decks where I can cast big things for way too cheap a mana. Yeah. That is my absolute favorite thing. Okay, this deck needs artifact destruction for the stupid synthesizer. Like, I don't... am I allowed to play against viewers? If you had an early access account, I could, but because we're on completely separate servers, we are unable to, unless you have an early access account. If I do a live stream on, like, the main servers, like, I could do one when this launches on Arena, like, on the main part of Arena. I'm considering it. I would be down to do that. But probably not at the moment. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Lend me your account for an hour or so, bro. Yeah. Yeah, here are my, actually, here are my credentials. You can just, like, log in. I was gonna go flying, but this has reach for some reason. So. So my better bet is to make it big enough to attack into it, but then again, the construct here is gonna be pretty hard to get through. I really just want to concede. I don't want to play against this. Is this the meta? What is this going to become the meta deck? Is just this with repurposing bay? Like, maybe this is the meta deck. I actually, again, have not played that much Standard. I've been playing a lot of Timeless when I've been playing my competitive format. Need some Haywire Mites. Actually, you're so right. Although I would need green to crack them. I mean, I guess I'll cycle this. Hope for a land, which we did get. Yeah, get lost might be the way to go. I don't know. In my head, last time I played Standard, I played against a bunch of stupid little, like, rabbits, and mice, and very small aggressive creatures. Did not run much into this. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd rather them have more artifacts. Like, if these were all too bigger, but they had half as many, I would still be happy with that. So, not necessarily against it. I don't know. I kind of wanted to just see how these cards play. I do like the play pattern of the one drop thing. The guide light. What is it called? Oh my god. The one drop that scries and is a vehicle into like something that cares about tapping, that feels really good. I just feel like I need to strengthen the plays that come after that. Sheltered by Ghost is still not bad, especially because in this deck... Okay. Especially because in this deck, like, a lot of the time my creatures aren't attacking. So them, you know, that's hilarious. So a lot of the time, them attacking, like, normally with Sheltered by Ghost, you have to be worried about attacking and then losing a creature in combat, but you don't really have to worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. Could also just look at, I mean, I know Split Up, yeah, Split Up would actually be really good, because I can tap all my creatures to vehicles and stuff. Or to a vehicle, and like only lose one creature and blow up all untapped. I play kind of all the colors. Competitively, I've been playing Mono Black and Timeless. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. I grief, and then I resurrected, and then I grief you again, and then I thought seize you, and then you have no hand. I know, terrible person. But yeah. All right, guys. Oh, I'm starting to get a headache. Let's throw in let's try Split Up. I like the idea of Split Up. We're gonna have to be a little bit more interactive. I'm thinking I'm gonna get rid of Chandra. I've never wanted to play her. I think I'm gonna cut one Lightning Helix, and then we'll cut. I'm not feeling this Valor's Flagship. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know I haven't gotten to do my thing of resurrecting it. I just the cycling being 3 mana plus X is just so much. So. Aetherdrift, pretty beach. I assume you mean neat. It is pretty neat. I agree. Neat's a good word for it. I'm so ready for mice on motorcycles. I hope so. I hope this set is impactful in some way to standard. I do worry about it being Karlov Manor feeling. Although Karlov Manor, looking back, I don't think it was as bad as people like gave it or like accused it of being. Yeah. Really? Really? That's fine. Let's see if this survives. This has not survived a turn yet. Every single time I have played it, it has been immediately removed. Looks like it's going to survive. It looks like we can actually do something pretty slick. It's going to become crude. We're going to scry. We're going to put that on the bottom. We're going to play this. Even though this is already crude, I'm still going to choose to tap it so we can get the counter on it. And then we will swing with both. We'll go flying. Flying is so hard to deal with, it's all I ever see. Yeah, flying's good, but I keep feeling like I'm running into reachers, like, way more than I usually do. We can then, I guess, just swing. Stupid synthesizer. I don't want it. Let's go Let's go life. Let's go +1/+1. We're either gonna kill them in time or we're not, and we're gonna die to a bunch of constructs. Like, why the green screen? We aren't scared of a messy bedroom. So, there's two reasons. First off, it makes it easier to stream. I don't have to clean it behind me if I don't want to. And I'm going to work on the lighting, so you eventually should hopefully not notice. That is the goal. The other thing is that the vertical live stream and the horizontal live stream are two different like things. So like on the vertical one, you can see this like fake background behind me. On the the horizontal live stream, the whole thing is my gameplay and I'm overlaid on top of it. So the green screen allows me to obstruct less of the view. So it's a mix of those two things combined. Erg. But yeah. Yeah. We are about to hit 4,000 views on the vertical short speed live stream, and I appreciate it. Yeah, these guys have been the bane of my existence today. I get it. It's good. Especially with repurposing bay. Repurposing bay is also just so good. Yeah. Okay, we could. There is hope. They've kind of shot their whole hand on the board. If we get a split up, we got this. Okay. Let's make the 1/1. That is not a get lost. That is good game. I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We needed to get lost. I think that was our only hope. Hey, it was tapped. Yeah, we are about to cross 4,000 views on the short speed live stream. I appreciate all your support. You can main deck that one white pivot that can't attack or block, play it on curve maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I appreciate the support, but the coffee is wearing off, and I can definitely feel it. Don't hate the I don't hate the idea of get lost. I know it gives them artifacts, but like again, I would rather like they're gonna have a synthesizer. That really matters the most when they have a synthesizer. Yeah, I'm just then I know if we go to non-land permanent, it's going to um I have an idea. This life gain isn't that impactful. So I'm gonna switch it out for braids. I also don't think we're gonna hit face with it. I think that this is mostly to take out creatures. I kind of want to try a braid. We could also look at Sky Crash because it does have cycling. Oh. I could try Perilous Snare. We can get rid of any non-land permanent. Get up to max speed. We can start putting counters on stuff, I guess. No. I'm gonna give up on Valor's flagship and say Salvation Engine is my big finisher that just boosts up all of my creatures. This is okay. Honestly, like, I mean, it's a 4-2 for 3 that I have to also crew later, and I've never wanted to discard a card. I've always rather had a card in my hand. I'm just remembering how much I maybe don't like vehicles. Yeah, let's see how this goes. I kind of want to just play this against something that isn't this artifact deck. Am I playing in ranked or something? Because this artifact deck feels like it should be in, like, the competitive queue. Maybe it's not competitive. Maybe this deck is that bad, which it probably is. Like, again, no, standard play, not standard rank. Okay. All right, and we just hit 4,000 views over on the Shorts Vertical live stream. Thank you guys so much. That number is absolutely crazy. If you are watching over there, you can come over to the horizontal live stream. Yeah, I'm streaming both horizontal and vertical. Go to my channel, and you'll see both. And one says vertical live, and one just says live. So, in the title. Let's see how this goes. I think the braids, like I'm trying to think, every time that I've had a lightning helix, I would have rather, I think, had an abrade. It also makes it less likely that we don't have the mana for it. It saves some of our white pips so that we can leave some of our options open. I think the issue is that there's only a couple people in the rotation right now that are doing standard. That's why we have this minute-long queue. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all decks, if you want them to be good, require some testing. And like fine-tuning, kind of figuring out what you want to do with the deck. My original plan was that we would get like a big artifact into the graveyard and then resurrect it with the 5-drop one. That's actually, the 5-drop artifact's the one that I was like, ooh, I kind of want to see what I can do with this. And I was like, what's a big artifact? Oh, if we're doing vehicles already, we could do like this big vehicle that can also cycle itself to put itself straight in the graveyard. But I think that cycling cost is just too high. If this is Pro Tour, yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't have any of my vehicles, but I have Split Up. And I am considering it. Nah. Okay, a braid, Wanderglyph. Yeah, I like this. We'll get rid of the big guy for now. I'll play this. I don't want that. We'll Wanderglyph. This seems like a meme deck. What is the over-the-top part? I just want to see if vehicles can be a thing. I'm not saying this is going to be good. I just want to see if, like... My favorite part of this deck, quite literally, is this little play right here. With this card is probably actually my favorite card in the deck. Oh, yes. Definitely. Definitely. The original goal was to just resurrect big artifacts. There's supposed to be 2 queues. One that's meant to be mostly like Aetherdrift cards and playing with the new mechanics. I was playing Lightning Helix. I swapped it for Braid because I'm getting beat up by artifact decks, and that's making me sad. What is this? Of course, now we're not going to run into artifact decks now that I have a Braid. Yeah. But there's a queue specifically for if you're trying to build competitive decks, and I'm not playing in that queue. Part of it is, like, what I did with Dustmorn, I had a bunch of cards. Like, I just picked cards that I liked or thought would be interesting, but wanted to see the play pattern of them. Because sometimes it's hard to tell, like, is this going to play well? Because some cards play better than they read, and some cards read better than they play. And this was built around this card, where I was like, I want to see how this plays. Like, is this a good, like, slam it down and win? And then I was like, oh, I guess I could build a vehicle deck and see if, you know, whatever. There's not going to be a vehicle deck in Standard. Oh, you're right. I'm blind. A Braid will be hype here. Let's crew this. Yeah. I also built a speed deck. So if that tells you how not trying to win I am. I built a speed deck. And it's not that I should say, it's not like I'm not trying to win. I just... I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. Tyvar. That's interesting.
We're in this together.
I really don't play Arena with music on very often. Some interesting music. Okay. Kind of vibing with my hand right now. See how much they care about Tyvar. Oh wait, whatever. I mean, I wanted to tap it just to... That was purposeful, I promise. But yeah. Yeah, yes, I know. I'm aware. Yeah. I have no idea why I'm so tired. Wow, I wonder what I'm gonna do next turn. Okay. So we'll braid and then pass. because I'm not going to draw land. And if I draw land, we'll do Reluctant Role Model, Abrade, tap the Role Model to crew the Glide car. Would love a Get Lost right, or Split Up right about now.
Take my hand.
I would really love a Split Up right about now. That would be very, 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 very exciting.
Not finished yet.
Just right off the top. Please. Like, please. That would be the most spectacular thing ever. Yeah. Yeah. Please. Split up right off the top. Kill all tapped creatures. And we can vibe. This is probably also going to get it cut. This was here originally to fuel the idea of resurrecting a big artifact out of my graveyard. And I was like, oh, this can crew and throw something in my graveyard and then I can resurrect it. But we're past that. I think. We have a whole 2 cards in the deck that do that now. Well, good game. Come at me, bro. Yeah. Actually, wait. Actually. Never didn't have it. The never didn't have it. Now what? I don't know. Probably. But he has no cards in hand. Or they have no cards in hand. I have no idea who this person is. But they can tap to mill. Or exile cards. I see. How many creature cards are in here? 1, 2... Yeah, we're still gonna die. I don't want to sit through this. Yeah. What a fun deck. Wow. I think I might be dead. Yep. Alright, guys, I have a headache. I am tired. It has been 3 hours. It's been fun. I expect I'll probably do another stream before next early access. Maybe even on launch day, like maybe next week. So stay tuned. I'll probably announce a little ahead of time, but I am just very tired and I am gonna probably go get some dinner. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Honestly, this has been the most fun stream I've done probably ever. Honestly, like it has been super duper awesome. You know, one more. Okay, we'll do one. Yeah, we can do one more game. We'll do one more. but then we're it. And I'm hoping no self-mill, no artifacts. Give me, like, someone else building around an Aetherdrift mechanic. Give me a speed deck. Not a Pro Tour player. Okay, not a Pro Tour player. We are already better. Dang. Not loving this hand. Hope you get to use this account in the future. Yeah, I've been invited to every, they do this for every set, except they didn't do one for Foundations because they did one for Pioneer, Masters. Or they didn't, yeah. And yeah, I've been invited to each one, so I expect I'll be back for Tarkir. Let's hope we can get a vehicle. Seems good. Seems like I want to get rid of that and also start my engines. Let's go flying just in case we don't get another vehicle or get a vehicle. Is this cats? That's hype. Let's go +1/+1. All right. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Perception, for the $2 in super chat. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. It has been really fun. I've really enjoyed talking to all of you. Again, this is literally the best stream I've ever done in terms of like, it's been good back and forth, good games, good talking with everyone. Again, really, really great. So I appreciate all of you. Yeah. I expect it'll be before Tarkir, or what is it called? Tarkir Dragonstorm. It'll probably be before then that I'll be streaming again. So if you enjoyed, how about we don't do that? It's just not. Not vibing with this hand. But if we draw the artifact creature booster, that'll be kind of cool. Let's put this here so that they can't just swing both for damage. Can we 1v1 soon? Yeah, once we if I do a stream on my main account, I can do some 1v1s with viewers. That'd be fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Good thing I put a counter. Let's put that there. We'll just hold up the Abrade. Then we'll just keep stacking +1/+1 counters. We'll get up to 6 next turn. And then I will have wished that I had a Lightning Helix instead of a... Yep, turn on notifications. You'll get notified when I go live. I will also... Oh... I can't do anything about that. I will also likely post about it ahead of time. Oh... Now... No, really no. Yeah. Wait, that's... What card was that? I'm sorry. Case of the... Okay. 4/8 W. Interesting. I always forget that the cases are like things. Probably should have like done that earlier now that I think about it. If I was like using my brain. What does this do at max speed? Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, crit a 2/2. Okay. Oh my goodness. I do not need this many lands. I assume sacrifice. Yeah. Surveil 1. Yo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This will... Oh my god, wait, this is exciting. Okay, destroy all tap creatures. We get... That'll get rid of Sheltered by Ghost. That'll let me re-exile... something. Let's get rid of that. That seems more problematic, actually, right now. And then we can put a counter, because we're still at max speed, and then we can swing. And it untaps, so it can block too. Wait, I kind of forgot about that. W. I did not think this initially 0/4 was going to end up a 5/9 flying lifelinker that untaps itself. Exert Mastery, create a 1/1 cat. I'm actually fine with this. Hi, I have a question. What is your question? He plays Skyrim. Toss the land. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll put a counter on this. Actually, I'm loving this Perilous Snare. I know I threw it in as like a, let's try it, but it's also an artifact. It's removal. I mean, it's a little slow. How can I get werewolf cards? The most recent set that's going to have werewolf cards is going to be Innistrad Remastered that came out. Actually, it's the most recent set, but they're not all legal in Standard. Actually, very few are legal in Standard. So it depends on how you play. But if you're playing Commander, that'll have the... You don't want to spend money. If you play MTG Arena, there is Crimson... Or not Crimson Vow. Midnight Hunt is a set. You can open it digitally. If you have cards currently, you could trade for some cards at like a local game store. You know, you have some options. Is it... No, because the lifelink. It's just not worth it to swing. I was like, I could crew that, and then it would untap, and then I could still swing. But it would just bounce off the links, gain them for life, and then I would have no blockers, and they could swing there. This just makes them attacking not really worth it. Looking great. Toss the land. Yeah, if this thing dies, we can toss the land and bring it back. I don't think I played a land that turn. That was my bad. I should have done that. I could have sacked it for a thing to crew, and then I could have crewed that. That was my bad. I mean, their only hope is to swing for 7 with these with lifelink. Gain 7... And then they'll go down to 1. That... if we pull a Gastral Thrill Roller, I think we win. Because we can play this, Sack it, play the Gastral. Yeah, I think if we pull a Gastral Throw Roller, we win. Yeah. That is not a Gastral Throw Rider. But... yeah, we'll, swing for 8. Untap it. Can I... Sorry for the dumb question, but is this on PC, new to your content? Yeah, this is on PC. You can also play MTG Arena on mobile, like phone and tablet. Although I am currently on a special client that was provided to me for free by Wizards of the Coast just for early access day. So it has access to these cards a little bit early and some like free gems and stuff on just that account. I'm trying to play Arena. Can I craft the Midnight Hunt cards? Yes, you can. They won't be legal in Standard, but you can play them in like Historic and Pioneer, or Historic and Explorer and Timeless. Didn't I kill that? Am I being dumb? Also, I'm at 50 life. Is that like, is this like Master Duel for MTG? I don't know what Master Duel is. Oh, like you, yeah, I think so. It's just, yeah, it's like an Arena digital client. They don't have every card. I don't know if Master Duel does, for Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, this is just GG's. Good game. But it has all the new, or generally all the new sets that come out and you can play Standard. Can I craft Midnight Hunt cards or no? But when I try to craft them, they won't me select the set. If you're selected, like if you're going into the deck builder, and you try and get it through there, if you're selected on Standard or Alchemy where Midnight Hunt isn't legal, it won't show, the cards won't show up. But if you just go to your collection, you can then, you have to click like uncollected, and yeah. But yeah. Alrighty, guys. I am now tired and going to probably call it there. It has been a good 3 hours and 16 minutes. I hope you have enjoyed. Again, best stream I've ever done. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, split up. Ended up being a great include. I mean, I probably should have known. I mean, I did know. The more meta cards, the better cards you put in, and the less vehicle cards you put in, the better you're gonna end up doing. But yeah. Yeah. Alright, guys. When are you back? I don't know when my next stream will be. I'll be streaming live for Tarkir Dragonstorm probably. If you're in MagicCon Chicago, you can see me physically there. And I'll likely stream sometime between now and then. I might even stream for release day, depending on how busy I am personally. So, alright, guys. Thank you all. I will see you in the next